Going on, y'all? How's you guys' day going? Hope you're having a good day. It is good. Thank you for asking. Today's going to be very different from what I normally do. It's going to be another rant video, but this time it's going to be about more so the people rather than the thing itself. What I mean when I say that is that I feel as though people have ruined video games, and that's not an uncommon take, right? We know that basically people are the reason why playing a game is so difficult, even if it's a single player game. It doesn't even matter anymore if it's a multiplayer game, right? Typically you hear that for multiplayer games, but now it's gotten to the point where you can't even play a single player game without people ruining it. And I feel as though that people don't know that it's them, that they are the ones, like as a whole, not even just a particular group of people in general. So like, for example, the most common group that I see people hating on the most are people who are extremely sweaty or try hard, or people who are just really, really good at a particular multiplayer video game in general. It doesn't even have to be Call of Duty. It could be any type of FPS. And don't get me wrong, to an extent, yeah, you could blame them, but then it's also as equally, I guess, the fault is as equal to the other people for thinking that because they're bad at a game, it has to be the other person's fault, which doesn't make sense to me. And then with the single player community, you see all the time where you have people who will essentially glaze or hype up or just like shower in praise any type of game that, again, I've said this earlier in previous videos, just has a really good production and no quality at all. So like basically if Gordon Ramsay was working at McDonald's, right? Like the food is still going to come out the same, but the fact that it's Gordon Ramsay making it, you know, you have plenty of people who are like, oh my gosh, this game is so good. This game is so this because it has this amount of hours. It's always numbers with those type of people for some reason. But then you have the other people, on the other hand, who think that it's never enough, right? If you could have an 80-hour game and they have a problem with every single aspect of it. And I would probably put myself in that category more so than the other one, because I tend to be the type of guy who wants a game that's short and sweet. I really don't mind. Like, obviously, I wish that I could have a game that was 80 hours long that is like really good in every single aspect, but that's just not going to be the case most of the time. However, one, I guess, I don't even know if I would say group that I haven't seen been called out are the people who demand remasters. And for whatever reason, they seem to think that all it takes to fix every single problem with gaming nowadays is just to remaster the old game. So like, obviously the first thing you would think of would be Black Ops 2, right? I don't know how many times I have heard people say, oh, just remaster Black Ops 2, just remaster Black Ops 2, and that's it, we'll be fine, don't change anything and it'll be great, we'll love it. And then I'm sitting there thinking in my head, do you know how many times or videos or even just experiences I've seen of newer players playing the old games and making it look literally the exact same as any current game? Like, there's literally a group of people who have, on specifically PC, they go onto Black Ops 1 and they edit the jump fatigue. And if you don't know what that is, that's basically just the thing that allows you to jump consecutively. So like bunny hopping, right? In Black Ops 1, you had jump fatigue. So if you spammed A or X, whichever or whatever console you were on, it would force you to not be able to jump as much. And so that's why drop shotting was a lot more popular back then. And so what they do is they literally mod the game and mod the servers and host, custom servers so that they can have better, so they can jump more. So there's no jump fatigue. And they're playing with all of the meta and all of the build and all the best guns, and they're bunny hopping around corners and whatnot. And don't get me wrong, that's probably a really small group of people. However, I feel like if we were to, or rather, if Activision or Treyarch were to remaster the older games publicly, like I guess officially I should say, That's exactly what would happen, is everyone would try to play that game the way that they played the current games. And then you want to know what the best part is? They would blame Activision or Treyarch. They would say it's their fault. They would say, what the hell is this? Why is it like this? Why do you have this? They would have so many problems with it. That's the part that drives me insane. That's the part that I don't understand. Like, I seriously don't think that these people played these games growing up. Like, another one, Modern Warfare 2. I would love if Modern Warfare 2 was remastered and there were absolutely no changes at all whatsoever. But does that mean that I want to get noob-tubed every single game I play? No, of course not. Because guess what? That was the thing back then. That was the meta. That was OP. There's plenty of videos you can go find of people spawning in, noob-tubing, and killing the entire team and freaking out. If you were to do that now, oh my god, Reddit would explode. Reddit would blow up. The entire app, it would stop working with the amount of people that would be on there complaining. You know, I just really think that noob tubing, it just shouldn't be in the game, you know, because it's just not fair when I spawn in and there's nothing like, come on, bro. You guys want something, right? You want the thing, but then if they were to give you the thing, I can guarantee you, you would not like it. You would not respond well. And so it says a lot more about the people than it does the companies. Don't get me wrong. Companies are absolutely to blame. You know, the executives, the high ups, not necessarily the developers, but the executives and all the suit guys, basically. They're the ones to blame for a lot of the problems in the gaming community. But dude, I promise you, you are more than likely not going to react the way that you think you would. And even if you do end up enjoying it, right? Like, don't get me wrong, that's great. I'm glad that you enjoy it. But I just don't think that people are fair, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I happen to be that way. I happen to be that way with the God of War games. I cannot stand the way that they have, in my opinion, tarnished that game. I feel like they've ruined what the original aspect was. However, I can understand why everyone is so excited to see the remaster coming out, because they think that they're going to add, you know, a lot of different changes, and they're going to do a lot of different things to essentially, I guess, give it a little bit of like a sparkle, right? Like a sparkle on an old dress almost. Like, give it some new pizzazz to the remasters. And like I said, or remakes, I think they are. I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But like I said, those are my favorite games, is the God of War games, the old ones specifically. And so when I heard that they were coming out, I'm bitter. I'm basically an old man saying, like, stop trying to change change what I love. But I can still understand why it is that people want those things. And does that mean that they're going to enjoy it? Who knows? I guess we'll end up seeing. But the point that I'm trying to make is that you could apply this same mindset, or the same things I'm talking about, to literally any type of era of gaming. And so that, to me, proves my point. It proves that it has so much more to do with y'all than it does with the companies or the way that the games are made, or whatever it might be. And, you know, there's definitely nostalgia. What is it? I mean, I guess it would just be considered nostalgia. It's like, oh no, rose-tinted glasses. That's what it is. Your nostalgia glasses. That's what I was talking about. People definitely have nostalgia glasses when it comes to the older games. Because, again, if we took you now and we put you into a Modern Warfare 2 lobby with riot shields and shotguns, you know, dual-wielding shotguns, you would not be having a good time. You would be crying and screaming, and you'd be on Twitter complaining. Like, I know for a fact that majority of the people would not have a good time. And so, you know, it basically tells you that, I guess, people are just, people don't know how to play a game without winning. I guess that's really what ended up happening. Or it doesn't even have to be winning, without doing every single thing humanly possible. That's another, I guess, subtle thing that I've noticed about the gaming community, is that the people who enjoy those super duper large games, or like basically open world games, right? Or just any game that has hours or thousands of hours worth of content, those games are meant for those people who play the entire game. And I don't just mean the main story. I'm talking about every single aspect of the game. And so what the problem, I guess, is like they stopped making games as, I want to say, like, general. They stopped making games for more than just one type of person or one type of group. Because what I'll see, like, because I was talking about multiplayer games, I'll talk about single player games. What I saw, at least, like as I was growing up, was that people would have problems with the direction of the game. And then now people have problems with, literally anything that you could think of. Like, for example, I remember Assassin's Creed. We'll just pick that for the sake of conversation. I remember when Assassin's Creed fell down, right? Like, at least for the general public, people that play that game, for the large majority of the people who enjoyed those games growing up, right? Like, it probably fell down for the OGs, if you will, around, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Because I remember people not liking Black Flag, actually. I remember a lot of people not liking that game when it first came out. But then, obviously, time went by and people started realizing how good it was. But it wasn't really until Unity. It wasn't until Unity where I really saw everybody, like, crapping on the game, or just the studio in general. And then they did that shift into RPG. But the point that I'm trying to make is that they were so much more, specifically Unity, they were upset with the bugs and just the entire release of it, because it was really bad. It was just a terrible release in general. But then, once people actually started playing it, they said that the parkour was good and whatnot. But I still remember people complaining about the direction that it was going. Because for the longest time, Assassin's Creed had a specific plot that it was going towards, despite the fact that you were playing different characters. And then once they stopped doing that, that's when people had a problem. But now, right now, it's not that way anymore. Now, people don't care so much, I guess, the direction that you go, just as long as it's the same game, if that makes sense. And so, I don't know. I don't even know if that really makes sense. Because it's like, for example, right? They brought back the old Modern Warfares. Right? They remastered or remade them. They remade them, and then they went a completely different direction, because that's kind of the whole point. And it sucked. It was terrible. I'm not defending it in any way. But people, I don't know. I don't know if I saw more people having a problem with the direction of the game, or just the game in of itself. Like, I guess the feel of it, if you will. And so you see this across multiple games where people want something different, but they don't want you to change the game. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's this weird dichotomy where people want different things, but they want certain things to be the same without even knowing exactly what it is they want to change. And so it's like, no wonder you can't be pleased. Like, no wonder there's no game for you, because you're not looking for a new game. You're looking for that old game just updated, basically. Like, you're looking for like a Madden, essentially, where it's just a roster update every single year. You want the core of the game to stay the same, but you want just, the subtle aspects to change. And that's not the point. That's not why you make a sequel. That's not why you make a franchise. That's not why you make these different games. They have to go in different directions in order to be different games, I guess. I don't know. Like, I guess if I had to give an example, my personal, like I said earlier, it would be the God of War games, but my personal franchise that was capable of doing what I just described was Santa Monica. They were capable of, how do I explain it? Like, they had a direction and they stuck to it. Kind of like, I guess if I had to give a TV show example, it would be like Breaking Bad, right? When the start of the show happened, they knew the direction that they wanted to go in. And there was changes, but there was a general idea of where it is they wanted to go. And I think that's what makes it so good. The exact same thing for the God of War games. They knew where it is they wanted to go, and so they kept everything within in terms of the gameplay and the feel and the scenery. They kept it all the same, all of those aspects, but they changed the direction, right? And so that's, I guess, the best way to do it. Like, that, in my opinion, at least, that would be the best way to go about it. But I already know there would be plenty of people who, if you were to do that for every single type of franchise, or if every type of company or franchise were to do it that way, people would not be happy with it. People would not be, it just wouldn't be enough, right? That's what they always say. Oh, it's not enough. You're not doing this, or you're not doing that right. And do they add a lot of fluff in a lot of the games now? Yeah, for sure. Like, to go back to Assassin's Creed, in my opinion, it's just kind of like fetch quests almost. Like 99% of the game just feels like, go here, talk to this guy, grab this thing, grab this random piece of loot. Main person in the story dies and you're supposed to feel sad about it. And then they just kind of push it on. You know what I mean? But I guess those are probably the best examples I could think of. But this was just a bit of a rant that I wanted to just rant to. I just wanted to come on here and just talk crap on people's favorite games. That's one of my favorite things to do. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, let me know what you think down below. If you agree, disagree. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a good rest of your day.